All right, guys, Campy here. So, hey, check this out. I have been doing some experimental cooking because, well, grilling, because I've got a big green egg. I just purchased it a few months ago, as I talked probably in the previous video, some other previous videos, that I just moved in semi-recently into this house. And one of the housewarming gifts that my wife got me was the grill. The Big Green Egg large grill. I'll do a review on that here in a little bit after I've got a couple cooks underneath my proverbial belt. I wanted to buy a thermometer style device that I could plug into maybe multiple meats, but also have an ambient temperature check. And I saw hundreds of them. And I finally settled on this device down here called the Inkbird IBT, and how about I flip this over for the camera here. It is the Inkbird IBT-4XS. Now, I've already opened this to kind of do a quick test and a check, but let me go ahead and pull the cover off so I can get right into it. This is basically what the box will come in. You will have, not this rubber band, you'll have a Inkbird warranty card, which I need to fill out. And then the app that you'll want to get is a BBQ Go app. And this guy right here will show you how to download the app as well as getting to know the device. These are what my cables came wrapped in. This is, here is the charging device for this. I say charging device because a lot of the other temperature sensors I saw, they had batteries that you had to plug in. Not this guy. This guy is rechargeable. You have your screen, you have your charging port here, you have your on and off switch here, and then your connection button, which is just a small little, looks like a inductive type of sensor. It doesn't feel like a full tactile sensor switch itself. And then up here you can barely see is an Inkbird name in this device. It does say Smart BBQ Thermometer, model IBT-4XS, and then you got an FCC ID. So we have this device here, and then I did a test with a couple products, a couple of the thermostats here. So we have basically, which I should have done, and I will do, I'm going to put it in a different case, is I will have this wrapped up. You have one thermometer here. You have another thermometer here. Let me move the box out of the way. So you have another thermometer here. So these two I have not used yet. This one I did, so I have a third thermometer. And then let me wrap this guy up very quick like. Maybe I should have pre-planned this, huh guys? So let me wrap this up very quickly. And this guy is, as you can tell, your ambient thermometer. So let me set that there, and it's going to want to swing its own way, so that's fine. Whatever. Okay. And then additionally, I have two of these guys. And basically what they're supposed to do, and you can do that with either one of these, is you can run your thermometer through, you squeeze this, and then once you let go, it's locked into place. Then this guy here can fit in between your grates and lock into place. Really great idea, you know. Got your ambient thermometer here, you got your three other probes, and then let me break open this probe. You have this little sharp point. You just need to get this portion of it into the meat. So with all of this jumbled up, let me go ahead and turn this bad boy on. So when you turn it on, you get basically that screen right there. Dotted lines. Why do you get dotted lines? Well, because you don't have your temperature probes plugged in. So I'm going to plug my ambient in port 2. And one of the things that I've learned is you've got to get it in there all the way. If you don't set it just right, you plug it into about yay, and then it's going to be all over the place. You got to lock it all the way in. So let's go ahead and pull this other guy in here, and then we will put it in its place here. So it sees that it's only in probe 2 right now. if I plug in probe 1, now it's going to cycle between the probes. Now I apologize if you see it cycling due to the refresh rate of the screen and the camera and this guy here, but basically it's flipping between between temperature probe 1 and temperature probe 2. Now, this is what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for anything super special. I was looking for something basically in this device. But what I did want is I wanted to make sure that I had something that I could not just see this sitting on the counter out by my big green egg, but something that could talk to me. And basically what I ran into is that this comes with an app. So what I'm going to do is run over to the app real quick, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to select my big green, my barbecue app, sorry, not my big green. And then it's going to sit here, and in the top, you'll see the right here, top right, it will show me where, and again, we'll just go ahead and double pull this out. Shows me where I'm connected to the device, tells me the percentage of the battery, also tells me that I have 2 probes in, and I can set them any way I want. Now what's really cool about this is that we can go into basically a timer and or the temperature presets. If I go into here and collect on the presets, since probe number 2 is my ambient probe, what I want to do is select it, because I like to smoke a lot, my grill. I've preset it that I want it to range between 230 and 275. There's hot smoke, and then there's cold smoke, and then there's barbecue smoke. The barbecue smoke came preloaded with a different number, but you can actually change that. So I'm going to set the preset. Now, there it is. It's a warning. Warning both here and then both here on the device. Why is there a warning? Because I want it to be between 230 and 275. A minimum of 230, maximum of 275. So you see that it's turned red. The reason why it's turned red is because, well, it's not between those 2 temperatures. So that's awesome. So if I'm grilling and I've choked it out too much and it drops below 230, it's going to give me a warning. If I have set it to where it is going to, take on too much oxygen, too much air through the vents, and it starts to spike and shoot up through that temperature, it will also warn me. But what's also cool is that I can open this app at any time and see where I'm sitting. Additionally, on this whole app, when you're looking at this, is that I can look at, and move this out of the way, I can look at how I'm trending. Now, currently, this is based over a few seconds, but it'll go over a period of time. But let's just say that I wanted to grab the ambient temperature sensor here, and then I'm going to hold on to it for a second. And then I want to see if it starts to shoot up, which it does. If you look over here, it's now at 77. I'm going to back to my temperature. It's 82, 84, so I'm going to look at this guy and look at this temperature. Oh, wait, hold on. So, yep, I'm going to go to sensor 2. Now you can see the line down here by the 91 degrees, because I'm up at 91 degrees now. It's because I'm holding the temperature. So hopefully I'm not catching a cold and I got good temperature going on. But I'm not going to get much higher than the higher 90s, right? Because it's based on, your standard body temperature. All right. So this is what I love about this whole device, is that I can monitor where my stalls are at in my barbecue. Those of you guys who have done some smoking and done some research will know about stalls in related to cooking. I am not an expert by any means of stalls, but at least to a point, I understand that I can watch my graph and see what's going on and not freak out related to my temperatures. So you'll see that temperature is going to drop back down. I've got no presets here. If you wanted to, you can go in here and set a timer. You can also activate the timer. Say, as an example, when you're smoking some type of beef brisket or something that you want to do where you want to spray some type of spritz, or you want to put some barbecue sauce over your meat every hour, you can set this timer for every hour. And then you can reset it, reactivate the timer. So every hour you're coming back and you're hitting this. So you don't need to go and activate another specific timer. You can activate this timer within this device as well as set preset temperatures. So what's really cool is in the preset, let's say I'm cooking a beef and I want it to be, and I set it, and it set it rare. So I can actually click over here and go, hey, I want to go medium. Yeah, I want to go medium rare, a medium well or well done. And all these temperatures you can set yourself. But we all know industry standards kind of have an understanding of where you want your temperature of your meat to be. So let's say you want to do medium rare. It's 130 degrees in the center of the meat. You also have veal, lamb, pork, chicken, turkey, fish, hamburgers. I mean, you name it. And on top of it, I actually set and made a brisket max and a brisket wrap. So as I mentioned before, 165, I may want to set my preset to 165. And I'm waiting, and here it is down here. I'm still green because I haven't maxed. So I'm setting my first max at 165. And then what I can do is once I hit the 165, I can go pull my brisket out, wrap it in aluminum foil, get it all sauced up and get it to start to get really juicy. And then put it back on the grill. And then I come back, reset it from 165 to 203. And that's where I go back over here and I'm done. And I go to 203. Boom, I hit set preset. I'm now at 203. Now I'm waiting for it to shoot to 203 and it'll give me a warning once I hit the 203 degrees. Beautiful. Presets, you can add all that you want. You can edit, and then brisket max is what I've added, so I'm going to get out of there, but you can also go in here and delete the preset. You can go ahead and set presets, remove presets, anything you want to do with this very simple app. And it has it for all three, and it knows that with the app that I have 4 potential sensors that I can add, and I can put everything in here. So anything that I want to set. Your main screen for your alarm, you want to do a ringtone. Let's say you want to not wake up the neighbors or wake up the wife. Maybe you're doing this at 4 o'clock in the morning and you want to be notified, but you don't want to wake up everybody in the house. Maybe you set it to vibrate. Maybe you're taking a nap. You just throw it in your pocket, right? Take a little nap, let it vibrate, whatever. Now, one of the things, so don't misunderstand the way that this is set up in this app. This is awesome, this is beautiful, but this is not one of those ones that run off your Wi-Fi system. It's a Bluetooth, meaning that the phone has to be within range of this device, which is about 150 feet. That's a fair amount of distance if you're doing any good cooking. Now, if you're one of those guys that has the experience, you're going to obviously probably go for a more expensive type thermometer that has the capability of connecting to your Wi-Fi, and then your Wi-Fi will connect to via an app or a notification system of some sort. What I mean by that is you have to stay with this app and this device. This has to be within 2 or 3 feet of your grill and your meat, and this has to be within 150 feet of this device. Other than that, you go beyond that, it will tell you it's disconnected, it will not track, and you will lose any notifications based on temperature thresholds because it's not talking to this device. Now, bear in mind, this will, so if you had somebody at home and they were sitting outside by the barbecue and it started beeping, they'll know what's going on, but you won't by your phone because you were too far away. What I mean then is the Wi-Fi style is the one where somebody's cooking some meat and they know that they don't need to touch it for 3 or 4 hours, and they're going to go shopping. They're going to go pick up something. They're going to go a mile or 2 or 3 or 10 miles away. And what they want is to have something contact through a Wi-Fi that'll upload into an app that'll come over the airwaves basically through your phone and notify you that way. Other than that, that's what this device is basically capable of doing. It cannot do that and notify you if you're outside the 150-foot range. I'm fine with that. Most of the time I plan on I'm going to be home and around doing something related to this. Worst case, if we got to go somewhere to the store or something, maybe what I'll do is I'll set this up on another phone device that I'll have in the house, and then I'll take my work phone or my personal phone or whatever phone that I'm using and take it with me if I have to leave, and then leave another phone that I may have that I don't need. I just need Bluetooth connectivity. I don't need it to be connected to an actual phone service. I can just use that to hang around the house. It's perfectly fine. So let's get back to what I think about it. Hold on. Let's not talk about what I think about it. Let's talk about how much it is first. So I ended up buying this on Amazon. And I ended up paying $52 for it. And let me double check that. Unfortunately, I'm looking at Amazon right now. It was $52.99. It's got over 4,735 ratings, but it's currently unavailable at Amazon. I think it's still available at Inkbird, and I think the issue is that it's not available right now is because it's sold out. This is Christmas. I'm positive, because this thing is 2 years old, I believe. I've seen people who have purchased these in 2018. It's 2020 now. I'm pretty sure you'll see this available in 2021. But it is a Inkbird. It is battery powered, but rechargeable battery powered. It has a capability of connecting via Bluetooth and notifying you via an app that you can download, which is free. The app is free. And it has the capability of showing you multiple meat temperatures or multiple zones. Maybe you decide that you want to do a turkey, and we all know when you do a turkey, right, you have this concern that if you don't chill the breasts of the turkey, you may end up overcooking the dark meat in the legs. So you can put a thermometer in the dark meat of the legs and put one in the breast of the turkey, and then kind of monitor those temperatures there and see if maybe you got an issue, maybe you got a hot spot in your grill somewhere, and you can turn your turkey to deflect maybe some of that heat. Whatever you think that may work, it's kind of whatever, how you want to test it and verify it. Last but not least, one thing I have not tested, and let me back up, it's not last but not least, but one other feature I have not fully tested as of yet, but has been tested. I've seen on other videos, I've reviewed or viewed other reviews of this, is that this is fairly accurate within 1 to 2 degrees. The easiest way to do it is we all know in America and anywhere else outside of America, there's 2 temperatures that you know for a fact as you grew up as a kid. Boiling water, 212 degrees for the Americans, and everybody else it's 100 C, correct? Oh, and I do want to mention that this can be switched between Fahrenheit and Celsius, but we all know which one is which. And just so everyone's understandingly clear, or very clear, that if it's set to Fahrenheit, that's fine. Well, okay. Temp reached. That is funny. Okay, so just so we're abundantly clear, if it pops up in Fahrenheit and you want to test the temperature, I can't speak right now. So let's say you bought this in England and it's set at Fahrenheit. Don't worry about how you want to know if it's, if you can change it between Celsius and Fahrenheit. You'll be able to figure that out in the instructions very quickly. But let's say you want to verify it right away. Just so you all know, over there in the other side of the pond and outside of America, basically, leave it in Fahrenheit for a minute. Throw it into a boiling pot of water, and if it goes right around 212 to 213, you're good. It's golden. Perfect. If it's like 142 degrees, we got a problem, okay? But those of you anywhere else, Celsius is 100, easy enough, right? What do we know about this device? First and foremost, it is a Bluetooth grill thermometer. It gives you freedom, because you're not stuck to the grill. You're not having to go into the grill and look to see what the temperature of the meat is, or even the temperature of the grill is. And as you all know, with the big green eggs and the Komodo grills and all that stuff, they have a thermometer, analog thermometer, sitting on top of their lid that shows you generally about where you're at. This guy will tell you within 1 to 2 degrees. Also, which is really cool, is it has a magnetic backing. So it is much stronger than it appears on this little piece of metal, but it will actually stick to strong metal. Yeah. So it's on both sides here. There's 2 magnets. You can set it on, and it's not too overpoweringly strong, but you can set it like on your refrigerator, set it on, a metal table or some surface that has metal. It'll set up there just fine. Side of your grill. But be careful on some of your grills, if you have that thinner metal, it may melt this. This thing can only handle a certain amount of temperature before it in itself will have a problem. Two, I would say, of a possible negative issue is not the fact that you possibly might melt this, so do not put it in and around your grill, is it's also not waterproof. It may have some slight water resistance to it, meaning it might get a little sprinkle on it to be okay, but other than that, anything beyond that, if it rains on your grill, we all can cook on the grill when it's raining, but, if this gets wet and excessively wet, it will damage this, and then you're done, okay? Additional to the magnet, we have rechargeable battery. You have a temp graph that you can use off the app, and you have 4 sensors, 3 of them being meat product sensors and 1 being an ambient sensor. You have the USB charging, which I have the thing within the box here, USB charging cable. to a micro plug. It's not a USB-C or whatnot. So you can go on to Amazon or to the Inkbird and get the manuals, the MSDS if you really want to, CAD models potentially, and you can see exactly how this device looks and or operates. This BBQ app is usually downloaded and used across multitudes of devices, but I think it's perfect for what I'm looking for. And I have tested it actually on a brisket in the very end of my brisket cook. It showed up in the mail, so the first thing I did, and that's why it was open, is I opened it up and ran up to my grill and plugged it in and plugged it into my ambient temperature. And I'll show you a little bit of that here on the Big Green Egg to kind of show you what it looks like when I'm running it. I just got it literally like 5 minutes ago. Now I see small issues where this is probably from the tie, but I just started smoking a brisket on the grill. Let me zoom out a little. And I've been sitting around 230-ish here on the grill. But the thing is the ambient temperature, if you see it, it says it's 210 on the brisket, but 262 on the actual temperature. So got barely anything in here. So you can see where my probe is. I've got my other just general. I know that I'm over 200. So I've got to pull this brisket. It's too hot. I should have pulled it around 203, but just wanted to do a quick review and show you. There's my ambient temperature sensor. There is my actual product sensor. And then of course I have room for 2 more sensors in here. And my temperature's dropping. So that's cool. It's telling me it's dropping. All right, off we go. Now, what do I think? It's perfect for what I'm looking for. It's perfect for what I need. I am still learning to use my Big Green Egg. I've probably cooked 5 or 6 meals on it so far, ranging from I cooked a turkey, I smoked a turkey, I cooked a beer chicken, I cooked 2 briskets, I have cooked 2 ribs in 2 different ways. I've smoked one set of ribs and I've done a straight grilling on the ribs. So yeah, I've done about 6 different meals on the Big Green Egg, and I am looking to do a lot more. What I want to do is to be a little more accurate in when I pull it off and wrap it or do whatever process I need to. I want to be able to see the temperature I'm working with. I don't know if I'll get the fan later on to kind of help set my temperature and maintain my temperature for me. I still kind of enjoy the game of trying to set the valves and the flaps and just enough so that I've got a good temperature. I can pretty much hold 225 really well, so I have not done a very high heat cooking yet on the Big Green Egg, but that's one of the nice things about this device here is it'll go up to about 700 degrees in checking temperature before you probably end up damaging one of the probes or the cables. You can order these cables. I've seen that you're able to order the cables, so if you happen to damage, cut, whatever, one of these probes and the cables itself, they're all integrated together, so if one gets damaged, you have to purchase it. I think it's like $8, but not too bad if you have to replace 1 or 2, but it's pretty good. Overall, I really like this device. It's got a very big, clear screen that I can see the temperatures on. It's got the app that I can go and play with and check. It has everything that I need for what I'm looking for right at this point in time. Multi-zone temperature if I need, ambient temperature of the grill itself. Again, the multi-zone or single zone in the meat for me to tell me the temperature of the meat, tell me what my grill is cooking at. Currently, I love it. I'm going to come back and visit the review probably some months later, maybe hopefully in the next year, to give you an idea of how it's holding up. Maybe I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go ahead and do probably about 3 or 4 more cooks in. I'll come back and say, hey, how I'm doing on this, how it's standing up with the abuse. Bear with me though, I do not abuse things. I do kind of care about my product, so I'll try to keep it clean. I'll try to keep it neat and orderly. It doesn't look like I have right here, but I am, I promise. And I will go and give a good, honest review of what I think so far. Right now, fresh out the box, just using it one time, just for a little bit, it was perfect for me. I think this is going to be awesome. I give it complete yes. It's worth the investment at this point. Now the problem is with the $50, as opposed to maybe one of the little $20 meat thermometers you can shove in real quick. You know, could you get a couple of those? Maybe. But these have enough features that warrant upwards of the $50. So being in that $50 range and the capability with that, my next step is to understand its longevity. Will it last a long time? Okay. Other than that, please let me know what you think of the review. Go ahead and drop downstairs there and hit that like button. And while you're down there at the like area, swing on over to that subscription side and hit that subscription or subscribe button. I really would appreciate it if you're not already, which 90% of my viewers are not. And on top of that, if you like what you see and you want to see other reviews that I'm looking at, go ahead and hit that bell so you get notified when I do drop another video. 9 times out of 10, it will be mostly product reviews. Cool. So, I appreciate the view. Honestly, do me a favor. Tell me what you thought of the review. Give me some notes downstairs. Tell me what you think, okay? I love doing this kind of stuff. It's kind of fun. I love when I get something, I like to review it and give you my opinions of it, okay? Thank you again. Peace out.
Go.